Quick disclaimer, any opinion said in this video may offend some people, and if you are one of those people, you shouldn't be here. Make sure to have an open mind and have fun with the podcast.
Just had sex with the heartiest dude. That dude was so good. That dude's my girlfriend, but that dude's awesome to have sex with.
Welcome back to the Desensitized podcast. This is episode 9. You are joined by the usual suspects, myself, Tidal Johnson, and...
Yeah, I'm here again.
Yeah, and today we may have a special guest, but it's the usual guest, the guy who's becoming less and less of a guest. We gotta hold him back a bit before he gets a bit too close. Alright, sweet. So you're ready to head into the first topic then?
Well, I had a couple comments, but I got cut off there a couple times, so no, I'm good. Let's move.
Alright then, sweet. Transgenderism, what do you think of it? Do you think it's good for society? Do you think it's bad for society? Do you even think it's real? What is your take, Jade?
Oh, I think it's real. Well, my whole outlook on this whole thing is, if you've got the corresponding body parts to the gender, that's what you are, you know?
So, post-op.
Yeah, pretty much. But if you want to decide that you're that thing, like, take a male, for example, who wants to be a female. If you're a male, and then you say you're female, but you still have the body parts of a male, I don't mind calling you a female, just so I won't believe it.
Fair enough. I think I disagree.
Yep, no, exactly, right.
I don't like the idea of calling a dude who wears dresses a female. I don't like that idea, to be honest. I know I'm an awful person, but I don't like that idea.
See, I don't mind it because it's got no direct effect to me, but except for the fact that I know that you're being wrong.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that is going to offend a lot of people, whoever the fuck sees this, but unless you got a dick and balls, you're not a dude.
And if you have a dick and balls, you're not a chick.
You're not a chick. Not until those get lopped off, at least not in my mind. But if you want to be called table cushion or clown, I'll gladly call you table cushion and or clown.
No, for me all that stuff is making me have to pretend as well, which means I have to use my imagination. And then when everyone has all this different shit that I have to use my imagination for, it becomes exhausting for me. So that's my whole stance on it. That's why I don't like it, because now I have to remember 50 million different things that, in my mind, don't even really exist. And the whole reason why is for me to be polite.
Your whole reason on not liking it, right? At least you know that it's because you're a dick and can't do it. And you're not trying to preach that your way is the better way. You just can't be arsed.
No, because I don't believe in it. I don't believe it exists, so I don't think that being polite extends to having to remember all this shit that I don't believe exists.
Yeah, no, I do. You don't have that courtesy.
Not for courtesy. I think it's a bit too far. Like, I'll give a homeless man some food, but I'm not gonna play a fairy tale with someone who's non-binary, blah blah blah, whatever, because it's just too much for me, because I just don't believe in it.
Exactly, but your whole thing is for you, and you don't believe in it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't believe in it either.
Yeah.
I'll call you by it, because my intention on not believing you isn't to piss you off. It's because I know I'm factually correct.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing for me. It's like expecting an atheist to have to pray. It's the same thing. You have to act as if God exists even though you don't believe in it. Just as calling someone non-binary, they, them, or whatever, or Ziza, fucking clown self-pronoun.
To random people. That's a whole different ball game, forcing an atheist to pray. Yeah, an atheist doesn't believe in God, so they don't pray. But there's a difference between forcing it and going to church with the intention to not pray.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like,
you're the one going and talking to these people, or these people are the ones coming and talking to you. Like, there was a mutual agreement there when you started the conversation. But when it comes to praying and calling someone by a different name just because you don't believe in it, you can't put atheists and praying together, because that's a whole different topic in and of itself.
Well, I don't know. I think it's pretty relatively the same, because in both scenarios you're forcing someone to act as if something exists that they don't believe in.
You're not forcing anything, you don't have to believe it.
Yeah, just like you don't have to believe in something to pray. I could sit here and pray all day even though I'm an atheist. Doesn't mean I have to believe it.
No, exactly.
Yeah, but I don't like it when someone says you have to pray now, because it's being nice. For me, it's the same thing. Both of them are forcing you to act as if something exists without you believing in it. Just like praying, I can pray without believing in it, but praying is acting as if I am believing in it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but you'd have to be forced to pray. And praying isn't the same as talking to another person. You not praying won't offend someone unless they're pretty strongly religious. Yeah, if you came up to me and called me a chick, and I'm a dude, I want to be called a dude, but let's just say, you came up to me and called me a chick, I'd be quite, what? What the fuck did you call me?
Yeah, but that's because
and that'll turn me hostile.
It's because you are factually a dude.
Yeah, but you're not seeing this from a bigger picture. I said if I wasn't.
If you weren't a dude.
Yeah, whereas if I was religious and you didn't pray, that's on you. People tell you to pray for you, not for them. They're already going to heaven. It doesn't matter to them. It's not something that matters to the person who's telling you.
There's the better argument then. You got me there.
Whereas when it comes to something like this, yeah, this is directly affecting somebody else.
So you're pro pronouns and shit then?
I don't mind calling you it, but I will tell you that I don't believe you. Until I see proof, I don't believe you.
So you're like, okay, miss. But just know I don't believe you, miss.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, I'm a condescending asshole. Like, alright then. So,
I think a lot of the time for me, it will rarely become a problem, because I will never end up being friends with someone who will want these pronouns. And not because they are like this, but the chances are that they're going to have wildly different political opinions to me that are just going to prevent them from being able to be friends.
Personalities will be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's any of these any fucking transgender people out there who are believing in traditional values and shit like I am. It just doesn't happen. Or at least I don't think so. So it's never really going to be an issue. Also, by the way, our special guest...
Wait, hold on. Oh, yeah, go into it. We'll get his opinion.
So, by the way, our special guest finally fucking showed up after all this time, and he's here. So, big warm welcome to Mitchell.
Woo! Yeah, Mitchell's back. No one asked for it. Woo!
Oh, buddy, here.
Yeah, Mitchell's here, so what's your opinion?
Well, I mean, I kind of think you're wrong, but that's pretty much it, yeah.
Who's
no,
wrong?
That can't be it. You need to elaborate.
Yeah, who's wrong?
Well, Jade, me and him have had this discussion a couple times, and though I cannot change his mind, I disagree with it. While he focuses on what bits you have, I focus more on what brain you have. It's scientifically proven that people who are trans, you're born as a male but you want to be a female, their brain is wired more closely to a female than it is of a male. That's why they're so uncomfortable in their skin, because their brain's like, what the fuck? We don't want these bits. So it's not their fault. So, what? No point hating on them.
But what about people who say they are non-binary?
Okay, that one I can't explain with science, so it means nothing to me.
That's the main thing for me, is the non-binary clown self shit.
See, I've pretty traditional values, and my values stretch to LGBT. That's where I'll stretch. Maybe some of the other stuff, but mostly LGBT. Lesbian, gay, bi, and trans. Because trans is easy. Trans is, I don't want to be a chick, I want to be a dude. That's easy, there's science to explain it, but, oh no, I don't want to be a dude, or a chick, or anything. I would just call me nothingness. I don't get that. and I cannot explain it with science.
Call me the void.
I'm pretty
Call
sure.
me the
isn't
infinite time
isn't that
schism.
under transgenderism though?
No, because the definition of transgender is transitioning genders. So,
Yeah.
you're changing into something else, while non-binary people aren't changing into anything, that's just what they are. They're just nothingness. And gender-fluid people are just everything. One day I'm a chick, one day I'm a dude, one day I'm a fucking Apache attack helicopter.
Tomorrow I'll be dead.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
'Cause
my
life
thing is
is-
my thing is mostly to do with the bits as well, less the brain, because the bits are there. You can't ignore them.
No,
And-
but well, actually, you can. Does
What?
everyone you meet, Tidal, do you go, I wonder what your vagina looks like? I wonder what the shape of your cock is? No. Because we ignore that people have genitalia while wearing clothes, because that's just a civil thing to do. So some people are obvious, like trans women, some are obvious because they've got the facial hair, they've got the deep voice, but then there's others that you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know unless you pulled down their pants and went, a dick.
True, I guess I meant
So-
I meant it more when it came to dating.
Oh, yeah, that's where disclaimers come from.
Disclaimers.
But, oh yeah, like people in dating profiles and transgender people, when they meet people, they're like, hey, I'm trans. I know you haven't had much experience with it, but trust me, transgender people give disclaimers.
So you've had experience.
I have indeed had experience.
Okay. Oh, then it's good to have you on this panel then. Alright, then shall we move on to dating when it comes to transgender people, and how it would make you gay, straight, or whatever if you date whatever trans person?
Oh, this one's just going to become opinionated. There's not much fact here.
Well, that's the point of the podcast. We're all desensitized.
Well, yeah, it would be
Some
nice to have a
facts
little
when
bit of
they're
fact.
available, but otherwise we just do opinions. And where are you,
Fair
Jade?
enough.
You fucked off.
Well, I'm still here. Just listening, listening into the heating conversation.
Awesome. Okay, dating when it comes to transgenderism. Would you date a transgender person? That's a question.
Ends.
Okay, is it a pre-op
That
or
doesn't
post-op
fucking-
question?
Not if I knew.
No, it's what are they transitioning from and into? Because Mitchell don't date dudes. So if you're going from a chick to a dude, nah, I'm good. I'm quite alright.
What if you're going from a guy to an idiot guy?
That's not plans, that's just a retard.
It sounds like the words of an idiot guy.
That just sounds like Bob.
From guy to idiot guy.
Yeah, that's Bob. We've officially got a trans member in our squad, it's Bob.
Alright.
No, it's
Alright,
not.
sweet. Okay, so you would date a boy to girl thingy, right?
If they at least had laser surgery to get rid of the facial hair, yes.
So you're sweet with the sausage.
I'm a raging bisexual Title. You need not ask.
Yeah, but you did specify that you don't date men, so that
I
sort of
don't
threw
date
me
men.
off.
No, I do not date men, but I have relations with men on odd occasion.
Okay, but that makes me question
I'm glad it's
why
opening
would
up
you
the
not
world.
date a man, but you would date a transgender woman with a sausage? What's the reasoning?
See, I would love to answer that, but I have no idea anymore. I just know I wouldn't want to date a dude.
Is it like you don't want to be seen with a dude or something like that, or?
Oh, that's definitely a part of it. Plus the just it's a long story that I will not go into here. But yeah, just Mitchell don't date dudes. That's all you gotta know for now.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, there may be some private stuff there, so we'll.
Oh no, it's
we'll-
not private. I just can't be fucked taking up the entire podcast explaining it.
So Mitchell doesn't date dudes, but he will date a chick with a dick. That's the idea.
I don't date dudes, but I fiddle with sausages. Yes.
Okay. Alright, Jade, what is your opinion? Would you date a transgender person?
Nah,
Of
nah,
any
and
type?
I'm gonna sound like a complete arsehole over there, but nah.
Nah.
What if they were like completely like changed? Completely. For years.
No, if I knew, it's the fact that if I knew, like, if they told me, I couldn't do it. Solely because that image will always be in my head, and I know that, with my luck, somewhere down the line, some guy's gonna call me. Even if I didn't find out, some guy's gonna call me and go, hey, you know your wife, Teresa? Yeah. Like, that was my brother, Tariq. Oh.
That was my husband, Thomas, you man/woman stealer.
Home wrecker.
No, exactly. But like, I couldn't do it, man. I could not do that with just with that image in my head. No.
Even with all the evidence, even the evidence of, like, even though all the evidence of sausage and chest hair was removed.
No.
Yeah, no, I think I have to agree with Jade, but on top of that, I also at some point do want to have children, so
I mean, you can adopt,
well,
you can just get eggs. Women are donating their eggs, and like trans women are now able to carry children. Little bit of genetic splicing, but it's possible.
What, like, you mean like male to female people are able to carry children?
I mean, the people who have got their dick removed and turned into a vagina, they are able, bit of testing and experimenting, but they are able to carry children.
Wow.
An artificial womb with eggs that were donated to them.
Scientific miracle. But there's the other thing about it, and it's, don't transgender women have to take testosterone blockers?
No, I'm pretty sure they just have to take estrogen.
That sounds like one hell of a testosterone blocker to me.
But that can also sound like if they forget one time or whatever, they just start turning back into a man, except for the sausage.
No, I mean, once they've had everything lasered off and they've done speech therapy to make their voice higher, the only thing that'll change is, I guess, they'll start, like, I don't know, maybe growing a little bit of chest hair, but it's more than, that's like a couple weeks of not taking pills.
I might come home and that nigga's trying to bench 210.
You come home.
He just forgets one time he's benching 210 kgs.
And you're walking and my nigga's benching the fucking seat couch with everyone sitting on it.
Hey,
I quit.
What happened to my
You
wife?
walk in, benching the couch. Hey, honey, how was your day?
That's hot. Yeah, no, I think it's an image thing for me. You can call me insecure all you like,
I just couldn't do it.
but it's just the image of just like imagining that, like, what you're touching was like a male's body. You know?
Used to have chest hair.
Yeah. It's like, it's the same thing when you think about whenever you get with some girl, you don't want to think about her having had a gangbang in the past. That makes you sick to your stomach, right? Or are you just one of these wild guys out here who doesn't care?
I mean, I personally don't care.
So, yeah,
Well, we all know your reason for not caring.
Yeah, because I'm 10 times worse.
What about you, Jade? Do you agree with my sentiment?
Lets me know that they are professional. Will never be tied on money again. You send it out to the streets.
Damn it, bitch, we can't afford to pay for power. To the corner with you.
Fuck.
Don't come back till you have the little thing. Smack.
Pimp.
Don't come back till I have my Bugatti. Smack.
P-I-M-P. Jeff.
Oh no, on the real though, no. I just fucking, that'll throw me off.
Yeah, no.
Your
I don't like the image
it.
of a partner having been a male, having been gangbanged by a bunch of males. I don't like those types of images, you know, in a partner. Yeah.
I mean, like, get over the last one if it was like a changed person.
What do you mean?
Personally, I could get over that fact. Like, maybe like fucking younger years, blah blah blah, you know, that sort of bullshit, didn't do it anymore, sort of shit. I could get over it.
Like,
but I couldn't get over the transgender thing, no.
Like, you meet a woman, right? And then you date her, and then there's this dude who comes. Then there's this dude who comes while you're like walking down the street, and he goes, "Oh my god, is that you?" I don't know, Sabrina. And then she's like, oh wow, I remember you. And then he's like, oh, you're from Victoria University, right? And they're like, yeah, well, I remember you in my class and stuff. And then the guy starts talking about, wow, you were so crazy at all the college parties, man. That was so intense. And
Almost
stuff.
didn't recognize you without a dick in your mouth.
And he's like, yeah, and then he's like, then what happens? He's like, oh yeah, and you're like, wait, what? And he's like, oh yeah, ask anyone who went to Victoria University about her. And then she's like, sort of embarrassed. And then you go and ask one of your mates who went to Victoria University, and then he's like, oh yeah, sorry, I didn't tell you about her, man, but yeah, that's Sabrina.
I have mates in this. Fuck
that's
yeah.
Sabrina. That's Sabrina. She's been gangbanged by the whole football team, bro. Every fucking party, she had it all out, man. That was just fuck.
I
like,
mean, you're not
would you
no-selling this
would
scenario.
you enjoy that? Would you enjoy that image in your head?
In this scenario, I got mates and a missus. I'm enjoying every second of it.
Fucking
Well,
hell,
no,
bro.
I could still get over that fact if it wasn't the same. Like, if things had changed from then yes, I could get over that.
Like, if we went to a party and she was sitting there going, hey, who wants to see me get on my knees and you can blow loads in my face, then yeah, nah, that bitch is getting cut. But, everyone has passed.
Fair enough. Alright.
It's like if you used to be fat, Tidal. I don't believe there was ever a time where you were fat, but if you used to be fat, you would be ashamed of it. No, I mean fat, not like child chubbiness. You would be ashamed of it, but you've tried your best to move on, so what's the point of judging you for it?
But I think it's in the sexual things is a loss of innocence.
Well, at least we know what kind of porn you watch.
It's 2022. I mean, most of this generation lost their virginity before they were even of legal age. And that's in this country. Most
Is
of
that
us
a good
fucked
thing?
before we were 16.
But is
No,
that
it's
a
not.
good thing? Yeah, exactly.
No, but-
exactly.
But loss of innocence is a thing. We've all lost our innocence before we were old enough to actually consent to it legally, but we still carry on, and we should not be judged for the shit we did when we were younger, so we shouldn't judge others for that shit either. And loss of innocence, Tidal, you'll be lucky if you don't find a fucking single mother with 2 kids in this day and age that are our age. Loss of innocence. My man, you're lucky that she doesn't have a kid or an STI.
Your
took what we got, my guy.
worldview is very bleak, my friend. Fuck. I'm so
But
sorry,
it's not
my friend.
wrong.
I'm so sorry, my friend. This seems so
Make sure
bleak
that-
when you tell me about dating a woman, right? You're like, yo! Like, fuck, bro!
Well, fuck yeah, in this scenario I got a woman, fuck yes.
Fucking hell.
She could look like Gollum and sound like Brian Johnson, lead singer of AC/DC. She could sound like him. And I would still be like, fuck yes, I got a midi.
Fair enough, my friend. You guys keen to head on to some stalemate?
Old mate won't know what that is.
Yeah, true.
No, I have no idea what that is.
Basically, we'll have a statement, and you have to agree or disagree with it, and it's on topic.
Agree or disagree? Do we get to argue or just say agree or disagree?
Argue, yeah, of course, but you have to
Oh,
say
sweet.
that you
I'm
agree
in.
and why you agree. Or
And how do we
disagree.
win?
There's no winning. It's a stalemate. Forever.
I mean, stalemate's better than losing like
Yeah.
300 times.
Yeah. Alright. First one. Children can understand their gender identity. Do you agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Likewise. Do we all do, but who wants to do the honours of why?
I'll start.
Alrighty. You do the honours. We all agree, so.
It's because kids are too young and too impressionable to make choices that will affect them later on in life. Alright, when you say kid, I'm thinking like 10 below. Like, when they start getting some maturity, that's like teenager years. And living in 12, that's their idiot stage. So 10 below is what I count as a kid. And no, like, kids are old enough to know that they like Barbies and they like monster trucks and stuff. But just because you like Barbies and monster truck does not mean that you want to be a girl or a boy. And that's all kids understand. They don't understand the repercussions later in life that they'll have to deal with. I've known a few people who, at a young age, thought they were trans. This one chick I worked with, she started taking testosterone and shit because she thought she was trans, and then realized, oh shit, no, I'm happy being a chick. I'm just a tomboy. And now her voice is forever changed because of the testosterone. Like, she has a very gravelly voice. Like, she has to, you know how like some trans chicks have that really high man voice that's really high pitched and annoying because they're great in it. Yeah, she has that voice now, because if she used her normal voice, she would sound just like me, you, and Jade, a man.
Wow.
And that was because she fucked up as a kid and decided that she wanted to change herself. So no, I do not believe that children, maybe 13 and onwards, then you can start making decisions for the rest of your life. But no, while you're a kid, you have a guardian. That guardian makes decisions for you until you're old enough to make them for yourself.
Yeah, I agree, except I would say that definitely when someone can't legally give consent, that they shouldn't be making these decisions for themselves.
Yeah, no, I don't reckon that the parents should be able to make that decision.
Yeah.
And especially if the kid is still a kid, like, regardless, they shouldn't be allowed to make that decision for them either.
Oh, no, I'm not meaning gender. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring in parents like that. But, no, I don't mean gender. No, parents have no say in if their child wants to be a male or a female.
Yeah.
That's their child's thing. But they shouldn't force it. They shouldn't be like, no, you're a chick, or no, you're a dude. Just let your child be a child until it's old enough to go, be a dude.
Yeah, okay. Well, I agree, but I think 13's a bit young.
Obviously don't start treatment, but that's when you start discussing it more and more.
Yeah,
Give
okay.
pamphlets and shit.
Fair
I
enough.
reckon at least wait till you're like 18, so
Yeah.
your body stop growing, so you're not gonna fuck with your body later down the line.
Alright,
But
sweet.
I'm no doctor. I don't know how testosterone, estrogen work.
Myself.
Do you have something else to add, or should we move on to the next statement?
Nah.
No, I think we move on.
Cool. Second statement.
So,
Gender roles are necessary. Agree or disagree?
what do you mean? Like, you have to be male or female?
No, gender roles being that the women are...
I
blah,
wear the
blah,
pants, you wear the
men
skirt
are
kind
blah,
of
blah,
thing.
blah. Yeah, pretty much.
That depends on what extent you go to. Because if you're taking it to the mass extent of stay home, cook me food, wash the house, and watch the kid, or I go be mad and make fire and, bang through rocks together, then, well, I disagree with that. But if it's to the fact where I don't think it's needed, I don't think it's mandatory.
No,
Oh, that is a difficult question.
I think it's absolutely necessary. Not for every single person. I don't think it should be illegal for anyone not to fill the gender roles, but I think if no one does fill the gender roles, then society crumbles. So I think it should be encouraged.
Oh yeah, there's always
Not
got to be one and the
forced.
other. Yes. Yep, no, there should be one or the other. They are needed. Yes, no, I agree with that.
Yeah.
They're needed, but...
But I'm saying that if no men filled the male gender role, and no woman fit the female gender role, society would crumble.
But what
you
if you
need
had
them
one
to do
fitting
that.
the other?
Eh?
What if you took an equal amount and you had females fitting the male roles and males fitting the female roles, the exact same number of people, would that change in your head?
Yes,
Why?
because of the natural differences between men and women. I feel like
Like
the
elaborate.
males would not do as good of a job as the females would in the female roles, and the females wouldn't do as good as males would in the male roles.
You define female role and male role. I'm thinking like office worker and miner. Those are my top female, top male roles. But I'm wondering what your...
No, when I think male, I think coal miner.
It's both in terms of the workplace and in terms of a relationship. So if you're looking at the workplace, everything to do with nurturing, like obviously, like school teachers, kindergarten teachers, daycare, all of that shit, nurses, blah 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 blah, secretaries, all sorts of shit. Also, there's places where it'll overlap, like in an office setting, they could overlap, right? So that's more of a neutral zone. But then the male side is like a lot of tradies and stuff, and yes, there are females who work in the trades, but I'm saying the vast majority of the time the men will do a better job because of their increased bone density and all that shit, and being a soldier, being police officers, all of that sort of shit is what I would say in terms of the job market would be male gender roles. And then in terms of a relationship, the woman would be the more supportive one for the male, and like obviously when the guy gets sick, well, they would look after each other the same amount, but obviously the woman always ends up being the more supportive one, and the man usually is the one that's going to protect. So if there's someone who's going to come and try and harm the woman,
then he's gonna sit in the front door with his gun ready to blow their head off. Yeah, I remember the last podcast.
alright, man.
Yeah,
You gotta
no,
take
we-
it to the extreme,
back
bro.
into this conversation.
But the guy's supposed to be willing to lay down his life for his woman. You know, that's sort of the male role in terms of a relationship. And if no one follows these roles, then society crumbles.
I actually tend to disagree.
Fair enough, then
Yep, no, so
elaborate.
Elaborate. Well, I mean,
Why is a
you
society just as strong when males don't fill male roles and females don't fill female roles?
well, we're already pretty much living in a society like that. 20 years ago, certain workplaces, certain jobs were mostly done by men. Like tradies, miners, stuff like that. In the last 20 years, the amount of females working there has like doubled, tripled, quadrupled. And
yeah, but is it still
industries
majority
like
men?
that, yes. But
Yeah.
the fact that more people, more women are joining that field, and that field is only excelling more and more, obviously means that women aren't a bad thing in it.
Let me
Plus,
ask
not
you
to
this.
mention... Oh, go ahead.
I've got something to interject, sorry. Think about it like this, right? You know the Transmission Gully motorway?
hmm
How long has that taken?
That
The
took
fucking
3
CRL.
years.
Yeah, right? These things are taking a decent amount of time, right? These things that we're trying to build here, right?
Mhm.
Let's even take the US for example. California high-speed rail, right? They've been trying to build that for like 15 years and it's still not built, right? And they're the richest country in the planet. And America's another example of places where the women and stuff are going into more of the masculine roles. This isn't me trying to say this is proof, but this is me trying to sort of, I don't know, this is not causation, this is correlation. And this is going to be controversial, so this is great. So, look at China, right? You look at their high-speed rail development over the last decade, they have gone from having the least, or not the least, they had one line, to the most high-speed rail within a decade. And China, all of the gender roles are extremely enforced. So I don't know. Maybe there's something to do with it. Why things are taking so long and are so much more expensive in countries now, like the city rail link being blown out to like $4 billion and shit, whereas things can be built on the cheap in China, obviously with labor practices and stuff like that, but you also think about how men are more likely to risk their lives and their job, so that could be a factor.
I
But
hear what
you've
you're
also
saying.
gone to a country that,
Mhm.
for a lot of it, there's no other choice.
Oh wait,
Right.
hold on.
When I was working on construction, health and safety, right? That wasn't a big, especially with scaffolders, and this one will tell you as well. All of the, and I'm not being racist, all of the Asian scaffolders were the worst at health and safety because they didn't care. But that's also because they didn't know anything else, and that was normal in their country. It's because of
Okay.
ill practice.
But in saying that, they were the best. They were the best and the fastest.
Yeah.
But that leads me into my thing. And you taking it to China, you also forgot about the fact that China is one of the highest rated academic, like has the most academic people in the planet, or one of them. China and Japan, because Asians, they study like motherfuckers. And when you're saying all this stuff about the rail, I'm not thinking manpower, I'm thinking smarts. And
Yeah.
considering America has like the lowest passing rate when it comes to like their exams, leads me to believe that America's smarts are not as good as China's smarts, because China has a very study-orientated culture. They go to school, like, 10 hours a day. They come home, they study. They're not allowed to use calculators till they're 13. So intelligence is embedded in them, and by the sounds of it, this light rail thing requires intelligence over manpower.
That's a good argument.
I'd also like to go back to your statement of men being better at these jobs because of how we're built. And the big thing with that now, if you look into a lot of jobs that are being done now, kind of like Transmission Gully, almost that doesn't warrant our density, and our natural overpowering strength doesn't compute anymore, because most things that are done these days are done with technology and machines. We have the machines that can do the job for us, and every day we're making it easier for ourselves. So in a good 100 years time, you could build a full railway with just technology.
Yeah.
It's all dying out. It's becoming less and less. In which case we can have more of both sexes working in that industry and having the same chance, because it'll be about technology then. Instead of it being about strength, it'll be about precision. Precision and focus instead of strength and muscles. And
studies have proven that women actually are better at multitasking, which can be reliable if you're dealing with multiple bits of technology at once, and women have a keener eye for detail, meaning more precise tasks like used with technology and stuff would be better piloted by women because of their better eye for details.
When it comes to the job market, you may have me there then. Then it comes to relationships.
I think relationships are a bit crude to say that gender roles are necessary. I mean, my mum is
that all depends on the people. You can't take a majority vote on a personal subject, because that all depends on the two people, or if you're poly, whatever the fuck, multi people in the relationship. From the outside, you can't decide what they need.
No,
you can decide what you need.
The statement said, "Is it necessary?" And I take into account what you said was different people, but for the most part, it is not a necessary requirement in this day and age. Whether it be in the workforce, relationships, fucking picking out what dress you want to wear, doesn't matter. Gender roles are not necessary. They're at least not as necessary as they were once thought to be back in the 1950s.
My view when it comes to relationships, it comes to the family unit and how important that is for the upbringing.
Yeah, but that is, your opinion will come from your experience and how you feel about it.
Of course.
Again, it's about, when it comes to the statement is trying to take a majority rule. So personally, for you, yeah, and for me as well, yeah, I would need that. I couldn't just sit around and, do nothing. Like, that's just in my head. But because we think that way, doesn't mean that other people would think that way.
Yeah, of course.
So they might not see it as necessary. I mean, like, we see it as necessary, but with the statement being so open, in an overall scheme, I don't think it's necessary.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to extrapolate it out to wider society. I'm trying to say, is it necessary for gender roles to be observed in wider society? And that's meaning, obviously, the family unit. But you can think of that being, the family unit being a strong thing that's important for the youth to grow up with. Because nowadays you're getting more and more kids going out and being criminals, doing ram raids and shit like that now. And the other thing that's happening coincidingly, I'm not saying it's causation, but I'm saying correlation. And correlation means clue. Doesn't mean end all be all, but it means clue. But at the same time, families are becoming less and less common in Western countries, whereas families are continuing to be the norm in Eastern countries, and then that can sort of coincide with how academic the country ends up being because of how the children are raised, in a way. Because if I talk to people who I've known who have done things like ram raids and stuff, when I talk to them I know that they didn't have a strong family unit growing up. You know what I mean? And I think when you have a relationship where the woman is really masculine That, like, you know, there's a good likelihood that she's going to end up being a single mother. Or the guy's just going to be so whipped in front of the child that the child isn't going to have, like, a backbone because the son is going to think that's normal, or the daughter is just going to think that's how things are, and then it's going to continue the cycle, if that makes sense. And then eventually you're going to end up with weaker and weaker people.
But you're taking two real life scenarios, but only two of them out of the millions of possibilities that there are.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the statistics of Western culture versus Eastern culture, and in Eastern countries, obviously there are human rights violations and all that sort of thing, but they are also becoming, you know, really academic and really intelligent, whereas Western countries, you know, we're having failing passing rates, and we're having higher crime rates, and we're having higher youth crime rates. In New Zealand, we're having high youth suicide. Things that weren't happening in the past with the family unit. Obviously, there were other things that were happening, but they weren't these things, especially things that were to do with the youth. And that's why I said it's not a causation argument, I'm just saying it is a correlation thing. That means it's a clue to me. I'm not saying this is definitely the way, but I'm saying, could you see how this could be?
It does coincide with what you're trying to say. You're not saying that this is the full reason or because of this blah blah blah. You're saying this could be a reason.
Yeah, and that's leading me to believe that gender roles are necessary because gender roles are the basis of the family unit.
No, I think that's definitely where you're wrong, and I wholeheartedly disagree. Gender roles are not where a family is at its strongest. Love is what makes a family, and a lot of these families, I too have mates who've done ram raids, done some dumb shit, and it doesn't matter what their mum did and what their dad did. What mattered was the fact that they had no love coming from their parents. That is the problem.
Love?
What causes love? 1, wanting a kid. 2, being in a happy relationship. 3, being stable financially, emotionally, physically. So if I wanted to get pegged by my missus every single night and I had a kid, you're telling me that I couldn't raise that kid and make it fucking turn out to be a hell of a fucking human being because I get pegged by my missus? Is that what you're saying? I'll be a shit father because I get pegged by my missus.
I didn't say that.
Yeah.
It was...
No, but with you with your gender roles. I mean, that was very extreme. But you with your gender roles.
That's more of a fetish thing. The gender roles is talking about things that are outside of the bedroom.
Oh, okay. Well, fucking, if my missus want to slap my ass every day, and I went, ooh, you're telling me I couldn't raise my kid well?
Well, what do you think your son would think when he sees that happen?
Would he think better if she went to slap my ass and I said, "Don't just fucking do that, bitch"? But I think a house with interesting roles is less of a problem than a house with no love in it.
This is where a lot of people end up going down the feminist route, where it's like, oh, it's all toxic masculinity, because you immediately thought that the masculine role was to be like, what the fuck are you doing, bitch?
No, that's
right?
That was another extreme.
Whereas it's like about the guy would be the one who would be willing to protect. In the situation where there's a robbery or something, the guy would be the one going to fight.
I mean, I think both parents. Well, I mean, if someone's endangering my child, I expect my missus to grab a weapon and you know, fucking meet me out front. Obviously, I'll get there a few seconds earlier, but I expect her to be defending our child too.
So you don't think that your woman should stay with the child and make sure the child's fine that way?
Well, obviously it depends on the situation. Like if someone got into the house through my child's window, then yeah, now you stay with the child. I'm gonna go stab a dude. But these are very, very weird scenarios. But you don't think that
you should stay with the child and send your missus out to go and fight the dude?
Well, no, but that's because of
Exactly.
values that I've been raised on.
That's
Also
gender
mutual
role.
love. Like, I wouldn't want to send my significant other out, and I wouldn't expect my significant other to want to send me out. I'll go
It's
out
not about wanting,
because
it's
that's who
about
I am.
who fills each role. And
Well,
that's
no,
where gender
yeah,
roles
exactly,
come in.
but you can't have that argument and then say, well, because I don't want her to go out, that's a gender role, because that would intentionally mean that she wants me to go out.
No, but it's about saying I'm gonna go out because I'm the man, and that's the
No,
masculine
I'm going to
role.
go out because I love my significant other.
Yeah, I love my
I'm
significant
going to go out
other,
because
but
I love my family and I would rather die than see them get hurt.
But that's
It's not
the
about
masculine
I
role.
am man bullshit.
That is the masculine role, though.
But that's not our end game. Our end game isn't to support the men. Yeah, men's rights. No, our end game's to look after our family.
But that's the thing, you don't understand it. Gender roles are not about men's rights or
No, but
impressing
now
the
you're
boys.
arguing that a woman wouldn't do the same thing, even if she was this woman who cooked and cleaned and stayed at home. Women have a more protective instinct than men do. Do you know how protective a woman is over her child?
Yeah, I can understand that. But
So,
the idea is
exactly.
that when the woman has no option, of course, the woman will start being more masculine. And that's what happens when women become single mothers.
I would like
They
to tell
start
you a
getting more
story.
masculine. That's
Could I
that's
tell
what
you a
happens.
story, please?
Yeah.
So, a few years ago, me and my family were getting ready to leave, to go walk to takeout shop, get some food. You know, Friday night, and some drunk person started fucking abusing my sister. So we went back inside the gate because we had a gate in our property. And she came over, and my mum was like, "What the fuck you up to, you dumb bitch?" And my stepdad was on the other side of that gate. Don't know how we got there, but he was sitting there. Yeah, I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to get off my property. Mum was in the bitch's face. Get the fuck off my property. My stepdad was like, "Yeah, this is your first warning. This is your second warning." And even though there were men around, there were other people around, my mum launched over the fucking gate because this woman threw a punch. So my mum launched over the gate and whipped her fucking ass. Now she could have got her partner, my stepdad, to hold the woman back. She could have gotten the girl's mates to hold her back. But no, my mum launched in there because this bitch made threats on her family. She did not have to. She was not backed into a corner. She did that because of the love she had for her family.
Yeah.
And because of the protective instincts that she had. Not my stepdad, no, he was sitting there counting, being patient, you know, I'm gonna call the cops. Mum dove in there, get the fuck off my property, bitch.
Not to mention my mother would do the same thing.
Yeah, your mother would do the same thing with knives and guns.
Yeah, my mother and my father would both go out there, and me being old enough now, and knowing what I'm doing, I'll go out there too, and we'll go out there as a 3-stack. We'll be
Fair
in
enough.
there.
Oh yeah, but this isn't talking about a really cool scenario where you, your mum, and your dad fight some people together. I'll pay good money to see that. That's not what this is about, though. This is about gender roles and how I just told you.
Exactly. But my father would go out, and apparently that's because of his gender role. But my mother wouldn't sit back and wait till she's backed into a corner. She would go out there too.
Your mum would be in there before your dad even got his lazy ass up off the chair.
Yeah, no, my mother would be way faster. Then my father would follow, and then I'd follow behind them. Or I would have outrun my father because he got bad knees.
Well, yeah, if your mother's already in the fight by the time he stood up, I'm pretty sure you're at least at the door.
Yeah, well.
I get where you're coming from, traditional values and stuff, Tidal,
Yeah.
about, you know, certain roles. But for the most people,
Oh no.
once we fit into those roles without even knowing it, which I guess is why they're roles,
Yeah.
but it doesn't work for a vast majority. So our gender role is still around, most definitely. But are they necessary to the inner workings of society? I think not. However, I do think everyone, whether they be man or female, needs to get off their lazy ass and get a job. That's not different. Everyone needs a job, not just males or females. Get a fucking job, you lazy cunt. But when it comes to fitting certain roles, I think that's completely up to interpretation of the individual people, and that it has really not much of an effect on society as a whole, of how certain people live their lives.
I think my thing is more, I think the roles, like, they need to be filled, but not by the person they're assigned to. So the masculine role doesn't have to be by the man, and the feminine role doesn't have to be by the woman. Like, the whole family life thing, the defender and the carer, in the situation that we just had. The person who loves and takes care of the child, and the one who defends and makes money for the family. I don't think that those roles have to be stuck to those two, like, to woman and man. Female and male. I reckon the man can be the one who's caring for the child and blah blah blah, while the woman goes out and does this. But I do think the defender has to be there, and so does the carer. They are two components that need to be a part of it, but they don't need to be held by the same or by the sex assigned to it.
And I think the roles can be shared. I'm the breadwinner, but you also make money and go to work, but you work later, so I look after the child even though I'm the main breadwinner, and then you come home and cook dinner. Like, the roles can be shared. It's not just, I stay home, I cook, I clean, I look after the kid, you get your ass a job. No, the roles can be divvied up. Like, the individualize the bits of the roles and then divvy them up. Like, that can work, and that has worked many times.
Interesting perspective. But based on everything I've seen in my experience, I feel as if every time I've seen a really nice family, it's always been with gender roles being fulfilled by the sex that they're assigned to. Every single time I've been to a family and been like, holy shit, this is such a nice experience that I wish I had when I was growing up. It's always been with people who had gender roles that were filled by the gender every time, without fail, and that speaks to me. So that's
that
my experience.
Might just be because in the couple people that you've met and gone to their houses and blah blah blah, that's just personal experience. You might have just gotten dealt a bad hand when it came to going to people's houses. It's open to being able to go to certain people or more people, opening up. If you want to take an experience point of view, you need the experience to back it up. Like, a lot of experience.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been in, like, as I said, I wish that I had this experience, because I've been in this experience before. I've grown up with my stepdad being the one who had to cook dinner and clean and stuff, and that sucked. I hated it. It was terrible. With him always being the one home, I hated it.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
But again, that could have just been how it was for you. But to get a generalization on it, like, well, not dogging your personal feelings. We all have our personal feelings with the experience.
And they're all valid.
But to take a generalized standpoint on it, you need to have the experience of a lot of people. Like, a good percentage of the population.
Well, in every podcast, everything is about opinions, is it not? No one can be truly
but it was
unopinionated.
because the statement was generalized. We took the standpoint on this statement because it was generalized.
Before we skip, I wanna give you some hope, Tidal. Most of my mates when I was growing up, their parents didn't fit gender roles. One of my best mates went to his house all the time. He had a cool as fuck house. 2 stories, he had a bunch of Nerf guns. Fuck yeah. He also had a tramp. But that's not important. What's important is that his mum was the breadwinner. Now she was also the nurturing one, but she was a nurse. She worked most of the day. The dad, he was an athlete. Like, that was his profession. He'd won like triathlons and shit like that. But most of the time, he would train morning and night. But during the day, he was cleaning, he was cooking, he was doing all that. I mean, he was like the most sour person to be around, because he just did not like people. But fucking, he was a good guy, just very sour. But that was their role, and they were like a fucking ideal couple. I mean, apart from the fact that he was a sour, cranky old dude and he was only like 30, but they were a fucking ideal couple. I did the same thing that you did. I went to their house and I'd be like, fuck, this is nice as. Wish I could have shit like this. So it can work, and I do feel bad that you've never been graced with the opportunity to see that and, you know, with your own eyes. But it can work, and it can be an amazing thing when it does.
Fair enough. You ready for the next statement?
Are we doing an Am I the Asshole in this one, or is it just statements?
Yeah, there is Am I the Asshole. This
There's
is the
always
last
Am I the
statement.
Asshole.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, on with the next statement.
There are only 2 genders. I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I don't think we need to explain.
No, you're
Just
male or
let you
female.
guys argue. Let Jake argue in the comments.
Yeah, no, Jake. Let us know. Let us know how it is. If you think
Alright,
that
am I
man's
the
a wall.
arsehole? Yeah! The good stuff. You can do the honours for the first one. There you go.
Alright, cool.
Or Mitchell can.
Oh, mean. Am I the asshole for uninviting my transgender sister to my wedding?
For me, it
I need
it depends. I mean, the fact that she specified transgender, I have a feeling it's because she's transgender and that's why, which would be yes, the arsehole. But if it's just the fact she's transgender but she did some other shit, then she's
Or
probably
it might
not going to be the
be that
arsehole.
she's,
transgender and trying to force her.
yeah, transgender and just an asshole about it. Like, no,
Yeah.
you gotta accommodate me because I'm trans. Like,
Yeah.
no, I want to do this, I'm trans. Or, you know, then you're not an asshole. But we'll see. Some background. I have a trans sister, came out to us around a year ago, but had been on hormones for longer and hid it from us until she moved out into her own place, probably because our parents are very conservative and known to be transphobic. As a result, there was this huge fight and a ton of people in our family, including our parents, cut her off and don't talk to her anymore. I like to think I've been pretty supportive of her so far, using her pronouns and her name and all that, which has been hard considering our fam gives me shit for doing so. I even make it a point to visit her every so often, while she hasn't seen most of our other family since last year. I also promised her that if and when I got married in the future, she would still be invited despite any tension with our family. Me and my fiance got engaged a while back. My parents, especially my dad, absolutely adore this guy, and since my sister came out, they've almost seen him as a substitute son. Almost. As a result, he's definitely more on their side of the situation. He's made it clear he really doesn't agree with or like my sister at all that much. After the proposal, which was very elaborate and surprising and orchestrated by my parents, who are the wedding planners, started talking with me about planning the big day, even offered to pay for everything. I mentioned wanting to invite my sister, and they shut the idea down immediately, talking about how she disrespected the family and cut them off and all that. They basically gave me an ultimatum: have my wedding planned and paid for by them, or have my sister there and they don't come at all. Took my parents' offer because I can't really afford to pay for an entire wedding, and because my fiance pressured me to accept it, I broke the news to my sister. She's understandably upset, but I'm still inviting her to a small after party over Zoom so we can still be together for the big day. I feel really guilty about this, though, so Reddit, am I the asshole? Edit, I don't think I made it clear enough how overbearing my parents are. That just saying no to them wasn't really an option for me. If I declined their offer, they simply wouldn't have come to whatever smaller wedding I managed to plan, which would have been even worse. Edit, I'm going to turn off notifications for this post because people keep misconstruing my position and ignoring how difficult of a position I'm in. I hope you all are happy.
Wow, Reddit really just drove her off the platform.
Wow.
Usually Reddit's understanding, but Reddit went, nah, fuck this chick.
Ah, I don't like saying that she's an arsehole.
I don't think that she is, though.
No,
I think
no.
her family, solely because I understand what kind of dynamics she's talking about when
Yeah.
it comes to family, and having
Wedding's a lot of money.
losing a lot of people over one person is incredibly difficult decision to make, and you want your parents to be there, even if
Yeah.
they didn't want one other person there. You still want your parents there.
Yeah, but I'm a man of my word, and she gave her word
Yeah, that's
that
true.
if and when we get married, you will be there.
She did
She
give
gave
her
her
word.
word.
Yeah.
And the fact
Yeah.
that her husband's so, like, against her coming and pressured her to take that offer is a red flag.
Everyone else seems like a dick except the sister. I mean,
Yeah.
she's not breaking her word, but
It's a hard decision to make.
Exactly.
Everybody around you is trying
Exactly.
to pressure you into the same.
I don't hate on her for it, but she is an asshole for breaking her word. The rest of it,
I reckon that's the only thing she's an asshole.
yeah, exactly. I
Yeah,
can
Yeah.
only an asshole for breaking her word. I don't think she had to mention that the sister was transgender in the title, though.
Well, no, it's a good lead because it makes people go, "Oh man, I wonder what that's."
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
probably why.
People, which is
Yeah,
why
it
she
was the people that pushed her off the platform.
Yeah, it draws the people that are like, oh, yo, we're uninviting trans people, fuck yeah. And then this whole
about, nah, I love my trans sister, and then the people who joined were like, oh, nah, fuck this chick then.
Yeah.
It's trans loving, fucking dick having bitch.
I'm pretty sure the comments would have ripped her to pieces about not having the guts to say no and doing it on her own.
Yeah, for sure. I'm having a look.
And that's
They're
what they're
so
about.
mean. I don't know why they're so mean in the comments on this one. Why?
Give us a couple.
Yes, the asshole. Why marry a transphobic guy? Exactly. Original poster is 100% the asshole there. I don't think she supports her sister that much. Calling a trans woman by her pronouns and visiting one's sister every so often is just basic respect and decency. It doesn't give her bragging rights. The one thing that actually seemed like support, her promise to invite her sister to a wedding, did not happen at all. What else has she done to support her sister? She didn't do anything supportive, and when confronted with a choice between her sister and their transphobic parents, she chose the parents. She could have opted for a more low-key affair with her sister there. It's either having her parents or her sister at the wedding, and she chose parents. Then, look at her whiny edit. People are misconstruing my position. No, they're not. They're just calling out your BS.
A bit harsh, not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
Hold on. No. Alright. Well, I'm gonna go into the comments, so I'm going to link this fucking video. You got
They're
anything
just
you
so mean. Why?
I'm going to start linking these people. I'm gonna send the link to every one of their fucking comments.
It's not an easy decision to make. Yeah, sure, the correct decision would be to choose the sister over the parents, but it's not easy.
Yeah, but they're saying it as like it's as easy as breathing water.
Yeah, I know.
But it's not.
No, and by the sounds of it, this is a traditional household, meaning that her parents hold power over probably all their siblings. Because I know when I fucked over my dad, my aunties and stuff, they all heard his side of the story, and I was the asshole. So I feel like if she went, nah, I don't want you guys to pay for anything, I'm going to have a small wedding, and they uninvite themselves, they would turn as much as the family as they could against her.
Yeah.
Meaning
Yeah,
she's not just
exactly.
lost her parents, she's lost aunties, uncles, cousins, mum, dad, all over one person.
That she can talk to later.
Yeah, that she's going to invite to her after party. She visits us once a month, and not to mention that bullshit like, oh, call her by pronouns and visit her like once every now and then. That's not being supportive. Like, motherfucker, my brother's not trans, and I don't visit him at all.
Yeah, that's being supportive.
That's definitely being supportive.
Yeah,
people need
fucking hell.
Explain what the real world is. You can't just do and not do. There's certain people who have certain challenges that stop them from being able to make
Yeah.
certain decisions. So
Yeah, I mean,
see things from outside of your own little hovel and have a look at what other people are going through and how they need to deal with what they're going through, because they don't have the same problems as you, and you're making it seem as easy as 1, 2, 3.
yeah,
Plus
that's what they say. Like, fucking simple, bro. Fucking easy.
And that bullshit, like,
It's
oh no,
simple,
just
but
have,
it's not easy.
just have a smaller wedding. Just have a smaller wedding. Don't invite your transphobic parents. It's like, okay.
The wedding's like, it's
average
so
dress-
expensive
Average
too.
decent dress is about $700. That's for a cheap dress. And then you also got catering. You also got venue. You also got fucking whoever's going to officiate.
Oh,
You've got
need
suits.
catering, no one's going.
You've got suits, dresses, fucking all the bullshit, the after party. My mum had the cheapest possible wedding in this country, and it was $7,000. In America, their minimum wage is $12. Who the fuck can afford a $7,000 wedding?
$12? It's fucking $7.50, my friend.
In some places, it's $12. Not in every state, but the vast majority are adopting the $12, which is still below our minimum wage, even though their living wage is $36 an hour.
Wow.
So it's getting close to double our living wage and half our minimum wage.
Yeah, no, they're fucked. Yeah, but the other thing is that I think that the husband she has should be a bit of a red flag as well.
I don't blame the husband, because let's say you came to live with my family title,
Yeah,
and you knew my mum, you know of my mum,
yeah.
and she was pretty cool to your face. But every time she wasn't around, I went, my mum is an absolute bitch. She is the worst person on planet Earth. She tore our family apart. She is so horrible. Eventually, you'll start to believe me. That's what her parents were doing. They drummed
I know,
into.
but I just see
they
the part.
adopted him.
Yeah,
And
that's
obviously,
true.
if he was ready to be adopted, he might not have a good family life. So he's clinging on to these parental figures, and they're telling him something. So he's going, oh, all right then. If this is what I need to do to be loved, it's
Yeah,
I
I
don't
can
blame
understand
him.
that. But it
I mean,
shouldn't
he
say
might
that
just
they
be a shit
actually
guy.
got adopted.
Well, not legally adopted, but like that they see him as a son.
Yeah.
And we don't know his story. He might have had a shit childhood with shit parents,
That's
so
true.
he needs the parental figures in his life. We don't know his life. That's why I'm not blaming him just yet.
Yeah, well, I see the part where it says that her fiance pressured her to accept the thing, even though she was like...
Because he might have been fighting with the parents.
Yeah, of course he's siding with the parents, but
I
I'm like
think
thinking
you
about
can
your
get
relationship. I don't
well,
like the idea of pressuring your partner into deciding
I
something.
I definitely agree with you. Don't think I don't agree with you. I'm just giving the man the benefit of the doubt because he
Yeah.
might have had the shittiest childhood and he
Yeah.
needs parents.
If this isn't the case, then yeah, you guys are fucking.
Oh yeah. Like this is the only case where he comes out a semi-good guy.
Yeah.
And that's where if he had the shittiest childhood ever.
Unless he's allergic to transgender people,
Unless he's allergic to estrogen tablets.
then this is the only excusable option.
I agree. Because I just hate the idea of... I just hate it that he had pressured her to accept it. The
So
fuck?
I'd like to reiterate that we all agree the chick's an asshole for not keeping the word promise, but the real asshole of this one is the fucking comment section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, this time it's not Reddit, am I the asshole? It's Reddit. Why are you the asshole?
Yeah.
Reddit, you're the asshole.
Reddit is the asshole. Alright, ready for the next one?
Let's go.
Who's reading the next one? Jade or you?
I think Jade. I'll read the last one. Now.
Alright. My turn. Let's have a look-see. Am I the asshole for not paying for my transgender daughter's surname change? Right off the bat, I'm saying no.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it.
Depends how old the child is. If the child's wait, why are they getting a surname change?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay,
I mean, if-
that's... Yeah, no.
If the child's below 10, then yeah, come on, mum or dad, cough up some money.
For a
So what?
surname change?
feel like- Yeah,
For
no,
a surname?
It's not a big decision to make.
Well, it depends. Maybe like they were named after their asshole father, who's like, oh, what's that? Wait, they're trans. They can be.
Well,
the
yes,
kid.
then if the mother is... If the kid's 10, and the mother doesn't let the kid change her surname from an asshole father who, I don't know, abused her,
Yeah,
then...
but she's also supposed to be trans. So like, what are you doing, trans 10-year-old? Now they're obviously old enough. Right, read
Alright,
Alright, let's get into it. You got anything else to say, Totem?
no.
Alright, my daughter, get ready for it, 17,
Oh, there we go.
came out as a transgender a few years ago.
Did she come out with a job as well?
And for her birthday this year, we legally changed her name to a feminine name of her choosing.
So they already
Mom-
changed the name.
The first name, not the surname.
Yeah.
My wife and I have always supported her in her transition, but my daughter seemed disappointed that her surname wasn't also changed. I am Icelandic American. If you don't know, surnames are quite different than in other countries. One surname is their father's first name, plus at suffix related to their gender. Oh no, I get it.
Yeah.
The son of Yokul would be Yokelson. No, Jokelson. I don't know. I'm going to change this name just because it fits in with, like, has anyone ever seen Vikings? Well, you know, Ragnarsson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then what do you call a girl? What would your daughter's name be? Jade Girl.
No,
Jade...
yeah, God of War Ragnarok. Thor's
Jadeson.
daughter. Oh, yeah, Thor's daughter.
Through, yeah.
Yeah.
Jadeson.
Or daughter.
So your daughter's last name would be Jade's daughter.
Pretty much. Or Jade's daughter, yeah.
It's a pretty shit last name.
Or Dottir. Depends.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what they're trying to get at here.
Yeah.
When my American wife and I married, she took my last name, per American custom, and gave the name masculine, or gave this that same masculine surname to our daughter when she was born. All of us have the same masculine last name. My daughter wishes to change her surname to the yokel daughter. I don't know how to pronounce that word, man. In order to align with her gender expression. Like, I'm sorry for butchering that. If I use this. As well as Icelandic naming customs. I hadn't considered this for her, as we live in the United States and use the local customs. My wife and I are on the fence about changing her legal name again, as processes like this are very expensive and time-consuming in our state. I told her that her mother and I would be more than happy to help with paperwork if she paid for the processing. Our daughter doesn't accept our reasoning and claims we are only contributing to her existing dysphoria by not going through the process again. She is very proud of her Icelandic heritage and picked an Icelandic first name for her initial name change. While I understand her desire for the name change, I think that she is too focused on how her name would come across in Iceland, where we rarely visit, and should consider how it comes across in the United States if she goes through with this change. Am I the asshole for making my transgender daughter pay for her own surname change?
Nah.
No.
Yeah.
She's almost legally an adult in that country.
I really didn't think there was an asshole in this story until the end. Until it said, our daughter doesn't accept our reasoning and claims we are only contributing to her existing dysphoria.
Then the
Trying
daughter's an
to-
asshole.
Yeah, trying to guilt trip her parents into getting that change for her. Like, you're 17, and it costs a lot.
Plus, not to mention, the mother took the exact same last name as the dude, meaning that she's fucking. Her last name is like Teresa Jason or whatever, and she's happy with it. Why doesn't she just own? Why doesn't the fucking daughter just own it like the mother does?
It'll be the heritage part kicking in, not just the fact that it's... And yeah, it'll be because it's a more feminine sounding name, but mixing that with the heritage gives it a whole different meaning. Whereas the wife, the American wife, doesn't have that same heritage nor feels the same about it.
Well, she should be opting to get her entire last name changed then, not just the daughter, but because she was named wrong. If she took her dad's exact last name, where as Icelandic culture, she's supposed to take her father's name and then her gender, she should be getting all of it changed then. Because she's not the daughter of her grandfather, she's the daughter of her father.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that's what it was saying.
Oh, that sounded like she was saying she just wants to get, like, son taken off and daughter added.
No.
Either way, your last name doesn't define me. My last name means Engel in German. I'm no angel.
Yeah.
Sorry, it means angel in German. Engel is the last name.
But it means a different thing to someone who's proud about their heritage and sounds like a dude, but wants to be a female. Like, now you've got two things acting on this. You've got a masculine last name when you want to be a female, and you are proud of your heritage, but you're being given the wrong last name. So
Yeah.
she's got characters acting on this that she is very proud of.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
it's definitely out of my paycheck, but
The only thing I think she's an asshole for is trying to guilt trip the parents into doing it. Besides
Yeah, I
that,
agree.
I don't mind the name change because I understand your reasoning, and I wouldn't blame you if you got your name changed because you like your heritage. Those are both things that I reckon intertwine with what she wants, but guilt tripping is not the way to get to it. You want to get to it, go and get a job.
exactly.
You guilt trip someone into giving you a job.
You're 3 years late, bitch.
You got more to add? Because I agree with you guys.
Yeah, no, I was about to ask you the same thing. No, that's about it.
Awesome. Then we'll head to the next one. Am I the asshole for accidentally calling my transgender girlfriend dude in passing?
No, definitely not.
No, I made a mistake. My bad.
I mean, I call everyone dude and bro. Sorry that I called you my bro.
Alright.
Yeah, but I think it's more of the thing, like, a guy saw a dude, man. Like, that was a guy, like, supping my man.
Well, no, because that's his girlfriend.
Well, no, exactly, but that might have been the thing. Supping
Oh,
man,
yeah,
oh.
I mean, if he was occasionally going, oh, I just had sex with the heartiest dude. That dude was so good. That dude's my girlfriend, but that dude's awesome to have sex with.
Well, it might also be a factor of depending on how the girlfriend acts, which I assume we might get to in this description. But like, if the dude acts like one of the bros, then that's different.
Oh yeah, if she's fucking the couch on her shoulder while vacuuming.
No, I'm talking more like talking like one of the guys, joking around like one of the guys.
Well, being one of the boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then that's a common
Misconception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not to mention, dude and bro and all those terms have such a wide gender-neutral basis these days. It's even said in the bro code that any gender can be the bro. So, like, you know, it's everyone can be your bro. Bro doesn't have to be gendered thing.
I'm pretty sure this is our longest open to an Am I the Arsehole?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it when a girl would call me bro. I don't like that. And I don't go around calling girls bro either. That's just not something I do.
Well,
But each to their own. Bro is just like a sacred thing for me.
Yeah, no, I think that's just you, my guy. Well, no,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other people out there, but yeah, no. You're just bro or sub G, up to,
Yeah, for the most part, bro has a pretty gender-neutral basis, same as dude.
yeah.
Dude.
I don't know.
Shots
It's
for that
probably
mic.
because when it comes to the majority of women, I just become chivalrous in a sense.
Oh, yeah, the Tidal's just trying to get in their pants.
Weird, I'm the hoe, but you're the fuck boy.
Hey?
You heard me.
Alright, let's just get into the fucking thing, would we? Shit. Long ass
Alright.
opening in no context.
Alright, ready? Let
No.
me start off this post with two things. I'm from Northern California, so a solid 80 to 90% of my vocabulary consists of the words bro, dude, man, bruh, you know, hella, fuck, etc., etc. And that I also love my girlfriend to death.
Right, why are we doing the classic Kelly boy fucking...
Because he's a Kelly boy.
What's
Oh,
up,
loves his girlfriend to death. That's
What?
beautiful. So what happened was we were playing Warzone, and I'm a self-admitted fucking noob. So she was whooping my ass 1v1, quick-scoping me, making me feel like a bitch, lol. So I just had a heated gamer moment, and absent-mindedly said something, 'cause I was a little too heated from getting cross-mapped, lol. Like, dude, can you calm it down for a bit and give me a chance, bro? Damn! And she got all up in arms, ended the game, turned off the Xbox, and started going off on me. And meanwhile, I was just sitting there trying to wonder what I did wrong, considering I call everyone bro or dude. I've even called my grandma bro on occasion, lol. Even now, about half a day later, she's still being very distant and hurt, and I can tell she's still mad at me. I tried to apologize to her, but it just kinda gets blown off, and it kinda hurts. In retrospect, I can understand how it could be hurtful to her, and that I guess I got a lot of learning to do. All this is fairly new to me, so Reddit, give me thine enlightened opinion. Am I the asshole, or am I just looking too deep into it? Regardless, I love my girlfriend.
You went from hearty Californian to Forrest Gump. I love my girlfriend.
Oh,
and
no. I reckon that chick needs to grow a pair of balls again.
Yeah. Fucking hell, yeah. That dude seems so nice, though.
Yeah, no, exactly. The guy seems alright, and he made a genuine mistake, and you're fucking holding him accountable for it. Grow a fucking pair.
Just like how we called it in the intro. It's like he's probably just says it all the time, and he does. Innocent mistake. It's not like he was like, oh my dude, stop being a bitch, my dude. No, it's like, come on.
I love the accent.
Dude.
Dude.
Bro, you just remind me of the fucking turtle from Nemo.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Surf's Up?
Oh, Surf's Up, the fucking chicken bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro.
Surf.
I love how he keeps saying I love my girlfriend.
Well, no, kid, no, that man, he's in love. With
Yeah, I know the feeling. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. That's what I think. I think a boy and a girl, or a man and a woman falling in love is one of the most important and beautiful things in this world.
You know what's beautiful? A 12-pack after a hot day of labor. That's fucking beautiful.
Speak for yourself, I don't drink, my friend.
He speaks for me too.
A 12-pack of water after a hot day of labor.
Cold water.
You know, some of that special mineral stuff.
Nah, I'm talking the Hawaiian Fiji water. Spoil yourself.
Is there anything else you got to add?
No, dude's an asshole. Chick needs to grow up here.
Made a mistake.
Yeah, I agree.
We all make mistakes, you bitch.
Awesome. So, that's everything we have to cover today. Is there anything else you want to say? Just any last messages?
Yeah. I can't wait to target you fuckers on Reddit for the Reddit's an asshole post. I cannot fucking wait.
You pieces of shit.
I hope it hurts assholes.
Yeah, we're coming for you at some point, whenever Jade gets around to it.
And whenever I
He's
get
the
around
social
to
media
pin that up.
guy. And for all you people who are wanting to, like, all the links going to the posts so that you can see your Am I the Arseholes, yeah, you're gonna have to wait on Jade. You're at his mercy.
I am in your head.
Alright, sweet. So that was the 9th episode of the Desensitized podcast. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I hope you guys have a great evening, or a great morning, or whatever you're doing. I'm going to bed straight away after this. After we end this, I'm going to bed. So, yeah, it's night time for me.
Gonna take me a fucking shit.
Oh man, I think I might have to do that too. God damn it. I want to go to bed though. I don't wake up early tomorrow. Oh well, that is none of you guys' business. Alright, sweet. So that's the end. Hope you enjoyed it. 10th episode is coming out sometime later. You'll see. We've got a little bit of a schedule going on, but we're not going to tell you the schedule. You'll figure it out. You'll find out. Don't worry.
Next one I might not be. I might never come back again.
Yeah, we don't know. Alright, sweet. So that marks the end. Hope you guys enjoyed. Bye-bye. That's me. Bye.
Fuck yous.